But where does this interest in airplanes come from?
Well, I mean, all my uncles were like in the Navy, and like they were like mechanics
That's boats.
Well, no, Navy. They have aircraft carriers,
Okay.
that aircraft take off and land on.
All right.
So they need people
But
to work.
doesn't the Air Force take off on those
Navy
aircraft carriers?
dude, the Navy. I don't know.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Where Is This Going? The podcast about artists you probably don't know, but hopefully will soon at least grow to enjoy or appreciate at the very least. Wanted to give you an update about past guest, a former artist, still current. Actually, anyways, two entrepreneurs that are on the podcast, Alex Kolk and Bruce Ramsey of Off the Grid. They have now secured their shop space over on the north side of Holland, where they will be operating from. So kudos for them. They will be on the podcast in a couple months to promote when they are opening up. But I told you I'd give you updates if you cared, and here they are. NAJU, we have a new guest in the stooge today. I don't know how else to describe him other than a very funny stand-up comedian and video maker and artiste with the pen and the pence. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Carl Sobel here from Bartending with Carl. Thank you for the applause.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for that stellar introduction.
I do what I can.
Yeah. What's with a pen and a pence?
Yeah.
Like
It's a pencil.
All right.
I don't. You draw, right?
Yeah, I draw.
Yeah, you're a great artist. So I also wanted to
very
get
sweet
that
of you.
in there. You're not just a funny guy. You have some other talents that, I mean, if they're not more marketable than comedy, if it doesn't work out for you, but the way your comedy is going, they may be more marketable.
They're probably going to be.
But thank you for joining, Carl.
Of course,
coming out to the stooge, and we did have some malfunctions. I won't not address the elephant in the room. We are starting an hour and a half late.
Yeah, it's all because of you.
I know, and you always seem like someone whose time is not to be trifled with. So I'm sorry for holding you.
I'm just super punctual.
Yeah,
I can't. I don't know. It's just I've always been that way.
Yeah, it was funny when we pulled up here. I saw you just parked in the middle of the road. Yeah. Just ready to go.
I was looking at ticks.
Yeah, you got here like 10 minutes before me, but you were still ready. Parked in the middle of the street, which was really cool.
It was the side of the street.
Barely.
Well, it's whatever.
But I appreciate you getting here. I know it's the sticks out here. But Carl, Bartending with Carl, is that on YouTube or just Facebook?
It's just Facebook and Instagram.
Okay, Facebook and Instagram. Super funny.
Yeah.
Not just the Bartending with Carl, but you as a person. You host or will host again.
Yeah.
But the Wednesday comedy night at River North Public House.
Yep. You nailed it. It's a hard name.
Yeah, it's a mouthful.
I just say River North. I dropped the Public House.
I'm sure Rachel Lee, the beautiful Rachel Lee, who is the owner of the facility, I'm sure she appreciates you butchering her name all the time.
Whatever. Everyone else does it way worse than me.
Very true.
At least I bring customers in when I do it.
There you go. At least when I do it, I'm promoting the spot.
Yep.
And you also are... Do you make T-shirts or do you just order T-shirts?
No, I have so my parents have like a screen printing, embroidery, vinyl graphic, all that stuff.
Oh wow!
My mom has it in her basement. She does all that, and then she has access to a screen printing facility. So I'm able to just give them designs and work through them to make a bunch of random shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is much appreciated. Got my mother.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, so that actually, the shirts I made for you with your meme on it.
That's actually those were very fast.
Yeah. No, she can just print those. She has a printer at home where she can just print onto T-shirts, on the mugs, and it's really really cool.
Yeah. I wonder how does one print on a mug?
So it's kind of like a heat. Well, it's more of she I believe it's like a sticker, but then she like presses it on,
almost like an iron-on.
like a transfer. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like sticks as ceramic.
I was gonna say, like with like a paper or like a T-shirt, I could.
Yeah.
A flat surface, I could understand. But
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't want to get too far into T-shirts and stuff because that sounds really boring to me, and I don't know much about it.
No, I'm glad my mom's thing is boring to you. It's cool.
I'm.
I'll let her know.
I'm happy she can make a living or have a passion or whatever, but the whole science of it doesn't seem that appealing to me. But we're here to talk about comedy, my guy.
Hell yeah.
Because that's mostly what you do.
Yeah.
I mean, you're funny looking and you're funny telling.
Oh, you got me.
It was a terrible burn, but
God.
that's accurate. Also, you can follow Carl on Twitter and Instagram for the Bartending with Carl updates and updates on River North Public House and just updates on Carl because he's a funny guy at Carl_Sobel. And you can follow the podcast, before I forget, on Twitter and Instagram. On Twitter, I should say first, at Where Is This Go Po, and on Instagram at Where Is This Going Pod. And you can follow me on everything at _Hunter Miles. Back to the show. So, Carl, Grand Rapids stand-up comedian.
Yeah.
Are you from Grand Rapids originally?
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. What high school did you go to?
A place called Kennewa Hills.
Kennewa Hills.
It is hick. Like, it is pretty hick. It's like,
to find hick in Grand Rapids is pretty.
Well, okay, so it was like I grew up like right outside of Grand Rapids,
right,
in a town called Walker.
Okay.
But it's like it's Grand Rapids,
just north of Grand Rapids.
Yeah, but no, I went to Kennewa Hills. Garrett actually went to Kennewa Hills as well.
Really, Garrett?
Yeah, Garrett Elzinga. Yeah,
nice.
He was a grade or two younger than me.
Oh,
but
so you're old.
Yeah, I'm super old.
32. Okay.
Yeah.
You didn't even want me to guess. I appreciate that.
You're slower, and I was just like, we don't have all day.
Yeah.
We're an hour and a half late. We don't have time for you to go through all of the 30s.
I was going to be pretty close, I can tell you that.
Yeah, you started at 30.
Yeah, I was getting there.
Yeah.
Your quick wit is very much appreciated. So, did you know Garrett in high school, since you brought that up?
No, not really. I mean, because I didn't really know a lot of people in high school to begin with. I was such a loner. I mean, I had no interest. I wasn't popular. I was a dork.
Ugly kid.
I was just, getting bullied all the time.
Of course.
And then I figured out that your junior and senior year, you can do like a internship, and you can go to a job, and then get credit for it for 2 hours of the day. So basically, the last 2 years of my high school career, I only went to school for 4 hours.
Right.
I would do like the standard like English and like something else, and then a photography, AutoCAD class, and then I would just go to work and get paid. Like I didn't eat lunch or hang out at school at all for the last 2 years.
It's building work ethic and also incels.
And I'm at the same job still.
Have you progressed at least?
Yeah.
Not to make it sound sad.
That
actually really made me. I'm sorry.
No.
Made me sound judgy.
No, not at all. I mean, it's a decent job. Like, I mean, I started out like sweeping the floors. Even before high school, I worked there. Like, I like sweep floors, but then I got the internship.
What kind of job is this?
Well, now I'm like a quality control engineer. Like, it's an aerospace company.
Okay.
So like I worked in the shop, and then like kind of worked my way up from the machine shop to like the computer aspect of it, and now I'm like an inspector. So people have to come to me to get a sign off before they can do their job.
Right. Hell yeah. We got 3 quality inspectors here today. That's really cool.
Yeah.
I need you. That's boring.
Yep.
Aerospace. You've always seemed very interested in airplanes to me as an outsider. Are you interested in airplanes?
Oh yeah.
And does that have to do with aerospace, or am I completely off there?
Yeah. Airplanes are aerospace.
Okay, cool. It sounded familiar, so I thought I'd take a grab. But where does this interest in airplanes come from?
Well, I mean, all my uncles were like in the Navy, and like they were like mechanics.
That's boats.
Well, no, Navy. They have aircraft carriers. You know.
Okay.
The aircraft take off and land on.
All right.
So they need people
to work. But doesn't the Air Force take off on those
Navy
aircraft carriers?
Dude, the Navy. I don't know. I'll ask them. That's a good.
All I'm hearing is Navy, and I think Air Force
boats. whatever. I think. Fuck you, Hunter.
Sure, the Navy drives the places that the airplanes from the Air Force take off on. I understand.
But my uncles were they were actually mechanics on these bombers on the ships, and there's like the John McCain. He was
the John McCain.
The Senator John McCain.
Yes,
he was on the ship that my uncles were on, and is famously John McCain. He had a bomb go off in his plane on deck, killed a bunch of dudes, started a huge fire on the ship. My uncles were actually on the ship when it happened.
Wow.
So it's like,
did they do anything to help?
I think they helped push planes off the deck that were on fire, but I mean, I don't really ask much about it.
You should have.
Yeah, well, it's kind of it's like you want to ask your uncles, hey,
you got time.
How many of your friends died?
I mean, it's a famous story. You don't have to ask them that.
Yeah.
You can be like, hey, but what were you doing?
Yeah, I think it's more
did you help the situation, or were you a puss?
Yeah.
I hope your
did you bitch out or what?
I hope your uncles see this podcast.
Yeah. No, it's but
they're in our demo. I know that.
No, they are. They love your podcast.
I'm glad you showed it to them.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
Carl's an avid supporter of multiple local entrepreneurial investments. I don't know where I was going with there. Any Jew.
So what Hunter was trying to say is Carl Sobel is an avid supporter of local podcasts and comedians and their art.
Yes, and art. He's a local supporter of art and local art. And that's why I felt it best for him to be on the podcast, but also he's kind of funny sometimes.
Hell yeah.
But back to the gig. So you got your love of airplanes.
Yeah, well, I grew up with my uncles always talking about planes, and my my grandfather that I'm named after worked on planes in World War II, and
Grandpapa Carl.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. And then so I just always loved planes. Our vacations as kids, we go to Dayton, Ohio, to the Air Force Museum there, and just go on all the old Air Force Ones. I've been in Kennedy's Air Force One, where they carried his coffin and shit.
Hell yeah.
A lot of history and just a huge history buff on all that. And
damn, that's super nerdy. And
oh yeah.
I never had a museum of super interest.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always been interested in art museums and art galleries and things like that, but to actually have a vested interest in something historical where there's substance to research and things like that to get invested in is super admirable from a very uncultured person's perspective.
No, it was fun because we would go to the museum and I would know everything about these planes. And then I was there would be tour guides, these old retired dudes talking about the planes, and I'd be correcting them and be no, this is actually because there's a plane that Chuck Yeager flew, and Chuck Yeager's this aviation icon, and they have one of his planes there, and I'm talking about it, and the guy's trying to correct me, no, dude, I got this.
I talked to him.
Yep.
Okay.
So it was a lot of fun. But then I've Through that though, I've got to I've actually flown planes. I'm not a licensed pilot, but I've been able to go up in a biplane, an old World War II biplane, and get to control it for a while. And
is that from your family ties?
No.
Or, your own endeavors?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So that was fun. Guy got a little scared that was flying with me. He was because I put it into a steep dive, and he's yeah, let's not do that again.
That's probably not a good move.
Yeah. But actually, in a couple weeks, I'm going to be going up with a buddy of mine. He has his own plane, and it's an acrobatic plane, so he can do barrels and shit.
Oh shit.
So we're gonna maybe do some of that. I'm
Press
excited.
Z or R twice.
Yep.
Fuck yeah. How do you have you have a lot of friends.
Yeah.
And I mean that sounded accusatory. How do you have so many friends?
Because I'm just really fucking awesome.
Yeah, but you have a very wide range of friends. Are a lot of your friends from high school successful in some way? Or
no, all my friends from high school are just living shitty lives and being racist, I guess.
I guess that's Walker.
No, because I've after high school I got into the rock climbing scene. I was huge into rock climbing, and I met a lot of people from around the country and world through that. So I just kind of remained friends with them, and then just would stand up alone, meeting tons of cool people. But
right. So I know you rock climb a lot, and mostly indoor right now.
Yeah.
But you did you take a lot of outdoor trips?
Oh yeah.
To actual rocks?
Yeah. No,
I've
been all over the country for it. Like Arkansas is by far my favorite place. There's like tons of climbing in Arkansas.
Really?
Kentucky's fine, but it's a little too like try hard. Like people that go to Kentucky to climb are like trying to prove something, and it's a little lame for me.
I know driving through Kentucky, you can see all like you're driving through mountains most of the time.
Yeah.
It's like Kentucky and Tennessee. It's a lot of mountains.
Tennessee is awesome. I've done a lot of climbing in Tennessee as well.
Hell yeah.
Like Chattanooga is a great town for climbing in general.
Where in Arkansas did you go? Because my grandpa's...
This town called Jasper. It's in the Ozarks. Yeah. It's like middle of nowhere. It's like a one stoplight town, dry county.
Right.
Like
my grandpa's from Jonesboro. I don't know anything about it, but
yeah, I don't either.
Trying to relate.
Yeah.
Hey.
Arkansas, it's a beautiful place though. I mean, it's definitely like the place
especially
to go.
The Ozarks, just like mountains in general are friggin' beautiful.
Oh yeah.
Just wide open lakes, and for some reason when I think of lakes I always think of Michigan as the like number one for lakes, but
yeah,
without like we don't have many mountains, or we have like hills and stuff like that and sand dunes, but I want like a real mountain escape with lakes like Utah, something like that, Colorado.
Yeah. I went to this place called Squamish. It's in British Columbia, Canada. It's about an hour and a half north of Vancouver. And it's one of the most, like, I went there to rock climb. It's one of the most beautiful places I've ever been in my life. I mean, you're just climbing up these mountains, and you look out, like, over this valley, and then there's just snow-capped mountains over there, and it's just, like,
right.
And you look out, and you see the ocean, and it's just, it was, like...
Did you stay up there, or no?
Not, like, on the mountain.
Right.
We were just, like, climbing and hiking. But then, like, because it was probably, like, the cliff that we were up on top of was 1,500 feet, and we just hiked up the backside just to see it.
Right.
And then, we just hiked back down and went to our hostel.
Okay.
But
staying in hostels.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's what you do when you're a rock climbing dirt bag. Like,
yeah.
You get a rental car and you just stay with a bunch of other dirt bags. But
so I was gonna say, is the culture? What is the culture like around? Because you're seeing a lot of beauty, but I would imagine it's a nomadic type of culture.
It is. It's very like van lifey. Like everyone's kind of trying to live that lifestyle, but it's like super counterintuitive because like rock climbing is like you're supposed to be a dirt bag, but then all the gear is super expensive.
Right. Of
course.
Like,
that's why you only eat beans, is because you had to spend $600 in gear.
I was gonna say, you seem to eat. You bring up beans a lot. Like you were talking.
Beans.
You were talking earlier
magical
about
fruit.
The more you eat, the more you chew.
I've never heard that.
Really? I hate you. But yeah, earlier you had brought up when you had first moved in. You didn't have any bowls or plates, but so when you would eat beans,
I just eat beans out of the pot.
Yeah.
When you live by yourself, why go through all the other hassle of like putting them in a bowl when you can just eat out of the pot?
Exactly. Especially when you don't have a bowl too.
Yeah.
That type of nomadic culture that exists in the rock climbing community seems like van living seems conducive to a decent career in comedy.
I mean, I can see that.
I feel like the lower you go, I don't know what kind of accent developed there. I feel like the lower you go in, I guess, a means of living, usually you come out with a decent comedy career after that.
Yeah.
Meaning the broker you are, the more likely you are to sometime make it.
Okay. I mean, I never thought of it that way.
I don't think it's a goal to achieve. Like, to get
go try being homeless for a while so I can finally get that Netflix special.
Yeah, I mean, it was a wealth of material.
Yeah.
But I mean, those are just the stories you hear where people who came from nothing. Like, do I have to kill my parents to become an orphan, to become like Tiffany Haddish? Something like that. Or Batman. Yeah. Exactly. See, those are the people that we try to emulate. And as kids, we didn't think far enough to kill our parents.
That's pretty deep.
I'm just saying.
So are the graves.
So are the graves.
Yeah.
6 feet at least. Any Jew. Who's going back to our heroes, who were some of your comedy I'll get your comedy, I guess, inspirations, or who you were introduced to.
Yeah.
When you were introduced to comedy, and then we'll move on to what actually got you into comedy.
Okay.
But what I said first, go first.
So my comedy heroes who got me into comedy. So like I can distinctly remember like the first time I watched stand up was Mitch Hedberg.
Mm-hmm.
I was just my parents were like out in the patio playing Yahtzee with like their work friends or something.
Dude, your family sounds so white. Continue.
Super white, dude. Yeah. But they were like out there just playing like the card games or whatever, and then I remember watching Mitch Hedberg, and his jokes are so easy to do.
Right.
I remember because he had one like escalators never broke, and it's just temporarily stairs.
Yeah.
And I remember I was like, oh my god, that's funny. So I ran out and I told it to my parents.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was just stealing his jokes.
Right.
And then I just went back inside and I watched more. Like, holy shit, this is great. And I just
This one's good too.
yeah, and I just kept going back, and I never knew I didn't know who he was because you couldn't like. In those days, you couldn't like look at TV Guide and like see who was on. You just and
Info.
it ends.
Yeah.
So like it was Mitch Hedberg, but I just didn't know it until like a few years later. Like I saw his CD and I was like, "Oh my fucking god, that's him! I found it!" And then like,
how old do you think you were when you had first watched that? Then
I had to be probably 12
12
or something.
And it's probably playing on Comedy Central.
Yeah, it was his Comedy Central special.
Right.
But I remember like just him, and then like my parents bought the Robin Williams live CD, and that was I think it was the 2002 or 2003 one. I can't quite remember that, but it was. Like that, I listened to that on repeat just all the time when I was like 16.
For Christmas, I just got a Robin Williams. I can't remember what album it was, but my girlfriend's sister's got it for me. Dang it, I can't remember what album it was, but I got a record.
Nice.
And it's super cool. Waiting to get a working turntable or
okay.
for or a record player, but it's super cool to have.
Oh yeah. No, I have a couple of Robin Williams records, and then Ben from the Garage Bar got me a couple Lenny Bruce albums.
Nice.
So I just got like a huge comedy collection.
Hell yeah, and especially like pinnacle, like groundbreaking comedians. It's historical references, which brings me to we have talked about like historical documentaries and shows like on Showtime about the Comedy Store and stuff, and you seem to be someone who's very interested in comedy history, like as well as history in general, as we've talked about with like the Navy stuff and
like all the
airplanes
aerospace
and all that crap.
Shit.
But tell me about your interest in comedy history. Am I wrong in my assumption that you seem to be someone who's fairly interested in?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I like. I kind of like I like to visit the old style of comedy, like it's weird because I never really thought about loving the history of comedy, you know, because I think I like the way comedy started just with like a dude going up between burlesque dancers, doing a couple jokes, and introducing a dancer.
Right.
Like I just think that's kind of cool, but I mean, as far as like the history of it, I mean, it is cool to know like all the groundbreaking artists and like the people like Lenny Bruce getting arrested, like shit like that, like because he couldn't say fuck on stage, but he would do it anyway.
And then people, like you said, breaking groundbreaking, setting the stage for what some take for granted, but like that freedom of speech that now comedy is known for is for saying fuck, not necessarily, but saying fuck what you think and being able to say whatever we feel in a funny way, as long as it's comedy, you know? And that's why I think if for some reason it's weird, I've seen a lot of people recently turn to comedy for almost direction, but more levity in these troubling times. But I can't remember what podcaster, it might have been Good Ones, but like talking about looking to comedians for guidance when our government has been completely, which I don't advise anyone look to comedians for guidance. Maybe levity at the very most.
Just don't. Yeah, comedians, they're just here to make you laugh.
Exactly.
I mean, you can take out of it whatever you want,
right?
But if it does help you make a life decision, awesome. But like, you're just telling jokes,
right?
You know.
So what, growing up, I guess, got you into telling jokes? Besides that initial, I guess, at 12 years old, oh, these are funny, I'm gonna go share this.
I mean, I was always just a funny kid. Like I was just like, I mean, at school, total loner, like didn't really get along with people, but I was always just kind of in the back of my head, like I would think a
Yeah.
comeback, like a bully would do something, I would have a comeback in my
Right.
head, and I just wouldn't say it or anything. But
right. So
like-
you're more of a pussy than a comedian.
oh, a huge pussy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But then like I was just like at home, like I would always be running around just being crazy and like just doing silly shit, just trying to get my parents to laugh. And then like my mom was always saying I was like a little Jerry Lewis, like running around like doing all this like wacky shit. And like and then watching Robin Williams, I was like emulating him, like watching Patch Adams and trying to make like if my mom was sad or something, I would try to make him laugh. It was just always like I just like getting that reaction.
Right.
You know?
And it seems like you had a lot of support too support of comedy just being in the house, which I think a lot of people enjoy comedy, so it's around growing up.
Yeah.
But
Well, it's just laughing in general. Like, I mean, everyone loves to laugh. And then
Exactly.
if you can have your kid who's not good at sports actually make you be useful somehow,
right.
and like, why not support it?
Yeah, he's not very strong. He doesn't help around the house very much, but
Yeah.
he's always good for a quick laugh.
And I'm not a total pussy. I started getting mouthy in high school. That did. I remember the first day of high school. This like the kid. He was actually he was like a wrestling captain or some shit. Like, and I had a basketball out on like the parking lot for our lunch break, and he went to steal it from me. I go, fuck off! Like and he told on me like a pussy.
So he was supposed.
So he went up and told on me, and then the guy was like, yeah, you probably shouldn't say that to the wrestling coach. I'm like, oh, so it's okay for him to swing at me, but I can't tell him to go fuck himself. And then I got in trouble more.
Right.
I'm like, fuck these guys.
Well, it was for that language specifically. And I think that makes sense, though, that you got in trouble so much those first 2 years. And then the last 2 years, you were like, you know what? I'm just going to, feels like I've burned enough bridges.
Well, yeah. Well, plus,
You made your enemies in high school.
Yeah.
And then decided to skirt.
And it dawned on me, too, like in high school, if you try super hard and you get really great grades, they don't let you out early.
Right.
So why try hard? So like I basically like skirted by doing the easiest shit I could.
Hell yeah.
And
At
then,
the bare minimum.
Yeah, and I
Right.
still graduated with a 4.0.
Oh, so not quite the bare minimum.
It was just easy.
Impressive.
I just took the easy classes.
Oh yeah. Did you go to college afterward, or were you just working?
Yeah, no,
right?
I took a couple of like night classes at CC, but I didn't get a degree or anything. I just took what was needed, and even that, it wasn't even like I needed to take these classes. It was just the boss where I worked was like, I want you to at least have this on your resume.
Yeah, it helps your job too. Yeah. If you ever decide to leave.
Yeah.
Too.
I mean, it was a joke though, because I would go to like these night classes. I knew everything already.
Right.
Like I learned it in high school and I'd been on the job.
Yeah.
So like I would show up late and just leave early every day because it was just like this is elementary to me. I was like Goodwill Hunting.
Elementary. Yeah. That was.
Yeah.
Or you.
I was stealing shit to give it to Goodwill. That's what I was meant.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just gonna ask if you're autistic, but I think I'm thinking of Rain Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Different movie. Anyways. So you've been doing comedy for a while now. I would say a while compared to me.
2 years.
2 years?
Yeah.
Not that much longer than me,
No.
I guess.
Are
you counting COVID times in your 2 years or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
When
I was
did you
doing
start?
stand-up? July of 2018.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess. Damn.
Yep. No, it's been I counted COVID times just because I was hosting and performing every week.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's almost that's coming up on 3 years almost.
yeah,
Because you started the year before me. But anyways, yeah, I started in May of 2019.
oh nice.
So I don't know why I thought you were much longer.
I mean, I'm really good.
Yeah, that's it. That's what it was.
Yeah.
But what got you to do comedy? To actually
To like take
all
the
right,
plunge.
I'm gonna start stand up.
Yeah, actually I had like the worst month of my life
Mhm.
in July that year. And basically I was dating a girl. I was dating a girl. She got like put in the hospital. She got out of the hospital.
You put her in the
No,
hospital.
she got like
Okay.
she got really sick, ended up in the hospital. So like I was like staying the night like at the hospital.
Uh-huh.
She gets out of the hospital, dumps me.
Yeah.
But not after I get in a car accident. Like she literally like we were driving to work and I was behind her because I was like going that direction anyway.
Mhm.
She saw me get in a car accident and just kept going. So I'm sitting there like, well, this that should have been a sign.
Right. I feel
she
like
dumped
there's
me,
an
like-
impending doom. Here.
Yeah, so then she dumped me like a couple days later,
Ooh.
and then like
At least she waited.
yeah, and then like my dog died, and then a buddy of mine like got in like some real big trouble and like went to jail for a little bit, and I was just like all this bad shit was just happening around
Your
me.
world is crashing.
Yeah,
down.
and I was like, well, I need to do something. And then my buddy was like, you need to just start doing stand up. Like, you need to do it. Like, if you don't do it by the middle of July, we're gonna beat you up. And they meant it. Like, like we had slap bets. Like he'll
Oh, yeah.
like I'm missing a tooth.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's not gonna be replaced either. It can't be replaced.
It's not going to. It cannot.
Yeah, so like I have violent friends, and like if you don't do stand up, we're going to beat you up.
I have violent friends.
Yeah.
They carry tiki torches.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, so what?
Dude, do you want mosquitoes around you or not?
I mean, yeah, they're more practical than
Yeah.
racist.
At this point, I don't know.
But
No, so like I literally like I took their threats and I was like, I'm all right, let's do
Yeah.
this shit.
I don't want to lose another tooth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just started signing up for open mics, and then it was just hit the ground running. I literally did a garage bar open mic, and then Tip Top like a week or two later, and then it was from then it was like one a week.
Hell yeah. So you were already in the prime state of depression from your world crashing down.
Oh yeah.
So there is only up from there.
Oh yeah. Once you're like that depressed, it's like
Right.
nothing.
You're like, I have to do comedy.
yeah. And actually, like I was depressed for so long, my face is just stuck like that now.
That's why you have the resting bitch face.
Yeah.
If it's well documented, if you see Carl at any venue or whether he's on stage or not, there's maybe one smile per 4 minutes, but then it's back to scowl.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I hate smiling. I don't know why. I'm just always so relaxed at shows and stuff. But I look mean.
Yeah, you're like, I don't want to put on a front for you. I'm fine.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. Maybe I need Botox or something.
Yeah, maybe it's not attractive, but
Doesn't matter.
So, what have you been? What got you started, or what got you inspired to do the bartending with Carl besides the quarantine?
Yeah.
Was that it mostly, or?
Pretty much. I mean, like when I first started doing stand up, I made 2 dumb videos called Cooking with Carl.
Oh,
And
I'm not aware.
no, they're deep on my Instagram or something. But basically, I just made like mashed potatoes, chicken, and spinach. But like, it was super like it was just like very awkward. Like I'm like, yeah, I killed a chicken this morning, but it's just like prepackaged chicken that I like. It's just all like just dumb jokes, and those were fun. And then I just kind of stopped doing them because I got distracted actually trying to write stand up.
Right.
But then, when the pandemic hit and like we had to quarantine, my girlfriend got me a old fashioned kit from a local distillery, from Long Road Distillery, and like I was like, I'm gonna make one. So I was like, I'm gonna make a video and just see if it sticks. I just did it in my super awkward cadence and I just tried to lean into it, and it was funny. It turned out funnier than I had planned. I was like, shit, I gotta post it, and then it just kind of took off.
Now, is the kind of almost cheesy editing, but like the quick editing, like the quick cuts, is it's purposeful?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
No,
Just
I wanted to be like kind of like really cut off. Like you could tell I fucked up in times, and unfortunately, like because I've done like close to 40 of them now.
Wow.
Well, it includes bartending with comics. Like
like
the collaborations,
which I have been featured on.
Yeah, that was a really fun one.
The apple or sparkling apple kicker.
Yeah. But like I've done so many of them that now I like kind of just do my intro and I can just. Well, now they've just kind of escalated to just being like skits.
A joke in themselves.
Yeah, like they're not making real drinks anymore. They're just like me attacking people with twisted teas and shit.
Which we recommend. If they're racist, attack them with twisted teas.
But yeah, I don't know. But now I'm like I don't have to do as quick cuts and edits anymore because I'm just so used to the talking and used to doing the host of it, I guess.
Right. Which you are a great host. You host at River North and
my garage.
Yeah, exactly. Comedy on Ida, as the shows have been called.
Yeah.
Nightmare on Ida was the
Nightmare on Ida was like the Halloween one.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Very fun house shows. And we've been talking about possibly another
Yeah, I know.
house show
Yep.
in the works. More talk to be done.
Oh yeah.
But I am looking forward to that, and just the ability to have more content to put out as well.
Yeah.
But be on the lookout. Stuff on Ida. We don't know. Any Jew.
Shalom.
Shalom. You had said something that I wanted to get into, but I completely forgot. So I will move in to your artistic ability. You're a very good artist. At least I'd say so.
Yeah. I mean, I'll take that. I mean, yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Just for saying I'm right. I always need to be affirmed. Have you been drawing a long time, or was it something like a doodling hobby in your
I just
old
like
age?
to doodle. I mean, like I said, like I
loneliness?
was always a dork. I couldn't do sports or anything, so my mom was like,
Exactly.
"Give him some pencils."
Did you try sports at all, or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So that's the thing. I was really good at running.
Yeah.
Like I could do like just super long distance. I was supposed to be on the cross country team.
Right. These
then I
sticks
found
are
out-
made for running.
Yeah. Yeah. My super thin legs. They're like, these are good for running.
Yeah.
But I was like, I signed up for it, and they're like, all right, we have practice like this day, these many days a week. And I was like, I'm out. I'm already a better runner than all these guys. I don't want to
I
practice.
don't need all this practice.
Yeah, I was like, it's running. It's not hard.
What did you think was way more important than practice? But also, I understand what you're saying.
Not having to go do shit.
Yeah,
Like
just
having free time.
you are all about the free time.
Yeah, I don't want to waste my time by like. Does anybody ever look back at their cross country career in high school and be like, "Boy, those were the days"?
Maybe if they
Nobody.
go on to college cross country.
Yeah, is cross? No, there's no like. Who's the most famous cross country runner?
Dude, you're asking the wrong guy.
No,
I
yeah,
was
exactly. If I ask you like, who's the most popular, like, who's the biggest, like, road like bicycle racer in the world?
Lance Armstrong.
Exactly. You
But
know.
you don't do either.
But I'm just trying to say, cross country's stupid.
Fair point.
It's not hard. Like I
Fair point.
literally ran a 10K with zero training and a hangover
That
and crushed it.
I ran a 5K my freshman year because I couldn't do the swimming course. Not because I'm black, but because I'm allergic to chlorine.
Oh, okay.
Just saying.
That's
That's the only 5K I've ran.
how are you allergic to?
I'm
You're not supposed to
allergic
drink
to
it.
high amounts of chlorine. It's. I understand that.
Yeah, everyone's allergic to drinking
So when
chlorine.
so when you're around cats, it's not because you're allergic to drinking cats. What are you saying?
You drink cats?
No. Because they make my eyes itch. So
Oh,
I
okay.
can't even get them close to my
So you're
mouth.
allergic to cats and chlorine?
Cats, chlorine, cotton. No, not cotton. I'm kidding.
Anything that starts with the C, basically.
Anything that starts with the C. Chlamydia.
Yeah, I think everyone's allergic to that.
I mean, yeah.
Crabs.
Crabs, crack.
You're allergic to crack?
No, but
Yeah.
I have to tell myself I am.
Yeah.
That's how addictions actually work.
Yeah.
It's just convincing yourself you're allergic to it.
I heard they're renaming crack to Cosmic just to try to be a little more PC.
just to get back at
Hopcat, yeah. They're like, oh, you think you got us?
Oh, you think you got us? We're the industry.
Yeah.
We run America.
Yeah. They got to name him back to crack.
Yeah, Cosmic runs America.
Who had a Cosmic baby?
Cosmic babies are were a major plague of the 80s. So, oh man, we've pretty much hit all my. Oh no, so I've also seen you take an interest in the improv community in Grand Rapids here.
Yeah.
Have you performed a lot in improv or no?
I mean, I did like a showcase at the Comedy Project,
Mhm.
which was because I did an improv class, and at the end it was a showcase.
Right.
And I mean, we were performing every week in the class, but that was just among like the 8 of us.
Mm-hmm.
But I like improv. I like being like off the cuff
And goofy.
even when I do stand up, I prefer to be a little more
Mhm.
like multi-directional with where I can go. I like to try to tell a different joke like every
Right.
time and like take it differently.
Yeah, and it's nice to, at least in a stand-up perspective, to gauge the audience on, like,
Yeah.
So having one joke have two different routes, kind of, of
Oh,
where
totally.
you could go. I mean, both maybe not both maybe written out, obviously, but having the ability to pick something to go to rather than having a set structure of what you're going to do isn't like the ideal sense of improv, I know, but I think my biggest my biggest pro of improv is just the ability to be goofy is what I've noticed. I haven't done a lot of improv things except for
it's the problem
what I put on myself.
Yeah, I liked the improv, but to me it seemed like to get a laugh was a little too easy at times. I mean, I think when people do improv and they're really great at it, that's fucking awesome.
Right.
But I also see like sometimes it's a real easy way to like you can almost fuck up on purpose to get a laugh.
Okay.
And that's not what I look for.
Right.
Especially like
I think because of stand up. Well, I don't want to say because of stand up, but because of comedy writing and appreciators of comedy writing, we are more, like I said, appreciative of artfully or tactfully writing.
Yeah.
You know?
And I want you to laugh at what I say, not like what I'm doing. Like
exactly.
Like it's a whole thing, but I mean, I like to do sets even where I just have like at the garage bar, I'll have the bartender write down a list of like 8 things.
Right.
And I'll keep it in my back pocket until I get on stage. I pull that out and then
just kind of
here's
riff
my
on
set.
those things.
Yeah. And actually, I'm gonna try. I was in talks to start doing a monthly show.
Okay.
Potentially at the Comedy Project.
That's right. They're going to be opening back up soon.
Yeah.
I would think. Because February 1st, well, are they a bar? Or
they
I don't
do
know.
have
Are
like
they
concessions
included?
and stuff, so it'll be. I don't know what they're gonna do with that.
Right.
But no, we were gonna do a stand-up, like improv stand-up show where it was like you basically don't know what you're talking about, strictly almost crowd work and like off of topics.
Yeah.
And if it goes good, like and they're open mic, it has potential to become like a actual show they do, which would be like I'd be able to like kind of pay the performers and stuff.
Right. Which is what everyone's looking for.
Yeah. I mean, that's one thing I really have been trying to do with like my house show and
Yeah.
like running showcases. I want to be able to pay people.
Right.
Because I mean, if it wasn't for me hosting, I don't think I've been paid to do stand up yet.
Right. And I think that's definitely my most steady job of getting paid for comedy.
Yeah.
But I think
I was supposed to headline for the first time yesterday, but it got canceled.
Oh, really? When did it get canceled?
Because of the lockdown.
Wait, because of what?
COVID. Because of COVID. I was supposed to.
Wow.
It was at a VFW. You're just being
dang.
Yeah.
There was a bunch of VFW shows that got canceled. Well, obviously, all the shows got canceled.
Yeah.
But I was supposed to do a couple VFW shows too.
Yeah.
That's sad. I might have been. I'm not gonna say.
That'd
I
been
might
cool.
have been on that same show.
That would have been cool.
Would have been, but COVID.
Yeah.
And it's super shitty. But oh shoot, I just had it. Oh, nope, lost it.
Fuck, dude.
Oh, nope, got it back. That partnership with the Comedy Project is super cool and something I'm looking forward to.
Hopefully, I mean it's all just talk right now, like
right.
bar talk, but
you doing talks in bars now?
Yeah, speakeasy style.
I was gonna say because these bars aren't supposed to be open.
It's all about who you know. And I know Crackle.
And I know Cosmic.
Snap, Cosmic, and Pop.
Cosmical. Anyway, I don't know if I just ran out of camera view. My butt hurts. We're getting there. So
my butt hurts. We're getting there.
Flip it.
Don't stop.
I meant my butt hurts from sitting so long. That means we must be running out of time. That still doesn't sound terribly better.
Just
but
keep going.
We'll just keep moving on. I do love what you're doing for. I remember where I was going. I do love what you're doing for local comedians in not only giving them a place to perform in your garage when all the other places were shut down, but also paying them for their hard work.
Yeah,
because you, as an artist, as a comedian, know that it is hard work putting a set together, and also having that opportunity means so much. But also to get paid for your passion it's a whole new level feeling. Of happy.
Yeah,
right? And because that's our ultimate goal, is it not, to be paid and self-sufficient off of our words or
No, I totally agree.
our art in general. So I appreciate that, in having been someone who you have given the opportunity, not only in the open mic scene, but also at your house shows, to perform and have a chance at this dream that we're all aiming at. So I thank you.
Oh, of course, man. I mean, you're one of my favorite comedians to perform with, so of course I would have you on my house show.
Oh.
You were on the first house show, I think.
Yeah, I think, and I loved it. That was a favorite house show.
And there will be more.
I hope so. I had an epiphany yesterday, sitting in our backyard having a midday fire. We looked out to the back fence in our backyard, and the snow was in like a perfect formation for what would be a large stage. And I was like, I can take up woodworking or something, just like you did in your corner, like stage in your garage. I was like, could have like a decent stage, because I know Haley likes to do music stuff. No, Haley performs musically, and we have a lot of friends who are in bands and stuff, and obviously a lot of comedian friends. So why not maybe next summer try to put something together outdoors?
That'd be cool.
Like regardless of if things open up or not, we've seen our forefathers before us, Dave Chappelle, set up similar things.
He's got COVID now.
Really? Chappelle got the coves?
He was hanging out in Texas, like in Austin, with like Joe
For a
Rogan,
while.
Elon Musk, and like they were all just partying at a bar. And like the next day, it's like Chappelle's got COVID.
Damn. When was this?
Like this weekend, like just this past like Friday.
Wow.
Yeah.
R.I.P. man.
He's not dead.
Well, who's to say?
That would suck.
I mean, I didn't even know he had COVID. For all you know, he could be dead.
I have a notification set up for when
I have a Google alert.
Doc. Yeah, it's like if Dave Chappelle dead, like if those come up.
Yeah, Dave Chappelle mostly. I get every Google alert with Dave Chappelle. I'm a big comedian fan. How about you?
Yeah, I mean they're cool.
Anyways,
but no, I want to really like comedy. I want I think our generation, like our class, or if you want to put it that way.
Yeah.
Like I think we are gonna push comedy, the scene.
Yeah, I think definitely it's almost more of like the alt movement again. Just instead of like alternative material, it's more like alternative spaces and alternative venues, because I think we're forced to it. And I think because of that, a different kind of class of comedy is going to be coming and pushing comedy forward.
Oh, of course. And you look at the way comedy specials went. You had to be on Comedy Central, or first you had to be like on Letterman or something, and then you had to be on Comedy Central, and then it was like Netflix. You have to get your Netflix special.
Yeah.
Then you have dudes putting out specials on YouTube.
Right.
So it's like it's constantly changing. So I mean, yeah, it's awesome if we can get like booked at Grins or something.
Right.
But if we can like transcend that a bit and actually do like our house shows and have a following that way.
Yeah.
Where we're having like these like small punk shows a bit. Like,
right.
I want that to be a thing.
Right.
Where,
completely almost cutting the industry out and having it.
We'll just create our own scene that gets us to that level.
Right. And I think that's basically what the movement has become. It's become, everything has been more accessible, not only to the consumer, but also to the artist.
Yeah.
Like, it's more accessible to get their art to people, like in YouTube things, and then see the profit from that, the fanship from it and things like that, and the support, basically.
And that's been like a huge silver lining, I think, too, from this pandemic.
Right.
Is it's really given people to develop a hustle and like kind of find their footing and really excel. Right. And not that like I'm not trying to shit on people that didn't do anything, because like it's not like easy.
Right.
It's you're surviving this fucking historical period that we're in.
Exactly.
Like, do what you can.
Right.
But like it's given like people like, I mean, like you and I, like we've been able to kind of find these hustles and do them and like
do something with this art that we've been trying to peddle for at least a little bit already.
Yeah, and we're making content.
Exactly.
And I have like a lot of opinionated thoughts about like making content and like
if you're
who's
not
been
doing
it's a whole thing, and it's like I just think it's great that like it seems like a lot of stand-up comics are doing a whole lot more than like other comedy avenues.
Are you really shitting on improv right now?
Yeah.
I was just trying to get into your appreciation for improv.
No, I mean I
No,
love
I'm kidding.
improv, but like I just look at like because there is like a slight
A riff,
beef. Yeah, there is like
Yeah.
a beef or riff between improv and stand up,
right?
and that's understandable.
Mhm.
But when I look at like the people putting out content, I mean, I'm putting out these dumb videos. You have podcasts, like everyone's starting podcasts and like
Right.
doing something, and I
But
haven't
every
seen.
comedian's starting like stand-ups are starting podcasts.
Yeah, and I
Not
look
any
at
of
like
these
improv
dicks.
and like
Kidding.
some of them are nice, some of them are
I
really
know,
cool,
Some of them are really nice.
but I don't really see a whole bunch of like sketch videos coming out
right.
or anything that's. I mean, what's bringing entertainment? What's
Yeah. Like, what are you doing? Like,
So-
if this is your art, if this is your passion, what are you bringing to the table? You seem
Yeah.
pretty silent.
But I mean, then again, it's not for me to tell these people like
Yeah,
who
why-
knows what everyone is
you
going
don't
through.
get to make me also go off and agree with you on a judgmental tangent, and then you just back out like that.
Well, no, I'm just trying to clarify. I mean, I think maybe you can relate too. It's like I'm not gonna try to judge people for not doing anything because it is hard. It's
Yes.
tough.
Yeah, everyone's trying to make a living here.
Yeah.
Whether you have to work and you're thrown fully into your work, because I was the same, and so now, yeah, I can't agree with you. So I'm sorry I got angry.
But we're kicking
With you
ass.
again.
We're taking names.
Exactly. But no, because like when I was working at 2 Men and a Fuck or whatever for a while, like I didn't have any time to put out content or like
Yeah.
like hardly go to shows because that job just sucked. But I had to do it because quarantine stuff, and I wasn't able to collect unemployment, and I was an essential worker, which is shitty, right? But any Jew, I had to do what I had to do, as we understand during this quarantine.
You're like, I had to do what I had to do. Like, did you kill
Like-
people?
No, I was just lifting furniture. I killed my back a few times.
Oh yeah.
But like I said, I had to do what I had to do to
You were
survive this
lifting
quarantine.
furniture. You were robbing houses of furniture.
2 men in a truck, dude.
That's
I
all you
was
need to rob.
I was moving places. That's
Yeah.
all you need to rob is just 2 guys in
Yeah.
a truck. Doesn't matter what size. So, in our Jokers of January series, we have been touching on the inspirations of comedy, or of our comedians, I guess. And so I have a couple questions for you that will kind of wind down this podcast. But my first one is, we talked about Mitch Hedberg being your introduction to comedy.
You got there.
Being your introduction to comedy, but I guess who is your most inspirational comic, or who is your favorite comedian?
That's for me. It's always changing depending
Mhm.
on like where I'm at.
Right.
Stand up in my head, because I mean, I think Robin Williams, like his materials, like it can get kind of like, I love Robin Williams, and I like his like off the cuff, just like top of the head, just and going off and just getting
Yeah.
laughs. I
And
love that.
character type.
Yeah,
Voice.
I love that because that's something I kind of lean into a little bit
Mhm.
with my stand up. Sometimes like I kind of go in these like dumb characters. Sometimes like
Right.
like not a bunch of characters. I'm not like trying to say that, but I have
You're
like
not very
my
talented. Got it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I love like I think Robin Williams, like Big J Okerson, like those guys with their being able to improv and do crowd work,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Mhm.
But I mean, like Mark Norman, like that dude, like I idolize.
His writing is great.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's why I like Jack Reeves, just because
Oh, yeah.
of their wordplay and things like that, and just puns and
Mhm.
stuff, because that's why he reminds me of him, not only like the little boyish look, but it's the Mark Norman works with a lot of puns.
Yeah.
Like Norm Macdonald, just like two great a bunch of great comedians, but they have that certain voice that they can almost say anything.
Mhm.
And I don't know if it's just their face, or their voice inflection, their tone, but it's everything sounds funny
Oh.
coming out of their mouths.
I just saw the Norm Macdonald clip with Larry King.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that?
Yes.
He's like, I'm deeply closeted. And like Larry King's like, wait, are you trying to say you're coming out as gay? He's like, no, I'm deeply in the closet. Like, I'm not coming out.
Not
but
coming
I'm
out.
deeply in the closet. It's like Larry King's just like, what?
My favorite is still, and I saw you like the tweet because I said rest in peace, Sako Souffle.
Yep.
Is his
Sake souffle? Chocolate souffle.
Oh. Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, yeah.
Wahlberg.
You got it.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, my favorite is his interview with Tom Segura. That was still one of my top.
There's a great Larry King where
interviews.
a woman talks about getting attacked. Like she went to a drive-through.
Mhm.
She's like, she got jumped like in the drive-through, and she's like describing this horrific event, and he goes, "What do they do with the food?" Like that's the question.
It's a logical question.
It's so like, damn, Larry doesn't miss a detail.
He's cutting straight to the meat.
Yeah.
And so after that, I wanted to ask. I've been asking comedians the most recent special they've watched, or I guess, if that's too hard to think of, once again your favorite special, which is sometimes harder to determine because it depends on the comedian, right?
Right. No, I think so. If you want to count it as a special, but the Andrew Schultz Saves America,
Yeah,
I watched
Schultz
that.
Saves
That was probably the
America.
most recent comedy special I watched.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that is like a bunch of writers just funneling into him, like making a killer set. But I mean, I listened to a bunch of Stephen Wright lately,
Mm-hmm.
and then Pete Holmes.
Oh yeah.
I like whenever I'm like super like depressed and like spiraling a bit,
Mhm.
like losing it, I'll throw on Pete Holmes because it's impossible
I'd
to
like
be in
to
a bad
watch.
mood.
I like to watch Crashing when I'm depressed because it kind of almost
Crashing is way too close to comfort for me.
it's
That psycho blonde chick at the end.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm saying
I've
like
been there.
Crashing allows for the depression to come
Yeah.
in and it kind of hugs it,
Right.
and it almost warrants it. But
Just his specials alone. Just,
yeah.
like his whole like McDonald's bit.
Yeah.
He's like, I like to sit at a party and be like, this party's McDonald's. I'm loving it. And it just ruins the party. I love that. I cannot like that cheers me up every time.
His overall face,
Yeah.
like you could just see it with a smile that could definitely, it's so cheesy it can ruin any party.
Exactly.
Just his face alone.
That dude has like gotten me out of like really bad times.
Oh, I love Pete Holmes. And when I was saying like it hugs my depression, like Crashing actually did lift me up and inspired me comedically too, because it's one of those shows that tells of the rise of a comic, or the path necessary to take, and that's what like got me inspired to do comedy in the first place, like listening to Mark Maron and
There you go.
damn it, but hearing all these not only stand-up comedians but sketch comedians or SNL cast members talk about their process or their path and how they got to comedy or how they got to SNL, and it was always improv stuff and stand-up stuff, but hearing about the journey is what got me inspired and I guess able to accept that it was a possible thing that I could also travel up those ranks somehow.
It's really a little mind-blowing for me. I've been thinking about that a lot lately, of like all these big name people, like these like people who it almost seems like they're in a different universe than me.
Right.
But then you kind of think back, it's like, no, I'm on the same ground as
Exactly.
like me and Mark Wahlberg are walking on the same earth.
Right.
Like it's possible.
Which is weird to think. But yeah, like you see Wahlburgers on TV and then you're like, oh no, I saw Wahlburgers in Detroit. Like, okay, so these things are achievable.
Yeah.
Like what is on TV I can walk to in real life. So why can't the people are on TV be what I experience in real life?
Yeah.
Type of thing.
We're all born with like the same, like, well, maybe not all of us born with the same kind of brain.
Yeah.
But like we all have like the potential.
That was a bold statement there.
Well, I was thinking like David Lee Roth, he said something about how like, when we all graduate high school, we all start at the same starting line. It's like, fuck you. No, you didn't.
No,
you had a voice that like this fucking dork getting beat up by the jocks didn't have.
Right.
Like that's a bullshit theory, but I don't know. I just feel like we all can if anyone can work hard and like do something, but I mean, there is luck and like some talent involved, I guess.
Right. But if you go with the Joe Rogan theory and tend to picture us all as babies, Like everyone was once a baby.
Some were cosmic.
Exactly, cosmic babies.
That's a great name for a comedy album. A Cosmic Baby.
Baby.
Baby Cosmic.
So, I know you said Schultz Saves America was one of the most recent ones. I'll go to that one. If I know that's rife with jokes. It's joke after joke after joke. Because, like you said, a bunch of writers coming together to funnel through him.
Mm-hmm.
Also, himself as a writer. But, do you watch Flagrant 2, or do you listen to any of his podcasts?
No, I haven't.
Very great podcast, I believe.
I'm too busy listening to all my friends' shitty podcasts.
I'm sorry, but we are inspired by good ones.
Yeah.
Not so much as you can tell.
You'll get there.
But hey, but Flagrant 2 is a great podcast, and they talk about they have been talking about Schultz Saves America, like the making of it and stuff like that, with their writers and the director Alex Media, but like the writers Mark Gagnon. I don't remember. Oh, I think Akash Singh, who is his co-host on Flagrant 2, was also a writer on it, as well as himself. But yeah, it's a very rapid fired, one joke a second, basically, or joke every sentence. Any Jew. Do you have a favorite joke or instance from there, or we can go to
Not
Stephen
from that
Wright
one.
for your favorite joke?
Man, I don't have anything from Schultz Saves America. Stephen Wright, I mean, it's weird. They all kind of like blend together for me. I don't have like a favorite Stephen Wright right now. I mean, I think the one that always sticks out to me is like the house burned down, nothing but the chimney left.
Mm-hmm.
And he like accuses the chimney of burning down the house. I don't know. I can't think of anything.
I can't remember any.
Spot remover on my dog, and now he's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is an iconic Stephen Wright.
Yeah.
But
I should have listened to it recently, just like more recently.
I know
on
I
the way
should
here,
I should have warned you. My
just
bad.
so I could have an answer.
Now, what is your favorite joke of yours that you have written?
Oof. I would have to say it's my, like, I have this one bit, it's my go-to opener. Like, if
Mhm.
I'm doing a show, it's my whole, like, going to a massage parlor, and you have to fill out a waiver, and then that piggybacks into, like, this, it's this whole bit, like, where it piggybacks into meeting a hooker at a bar,
Right.
and then she becomes my emergency contact for the massage parlor.
Right.
But I've actually recently rewritten the ending of that. I'm pretty
Ooh.
happy about,
Hell yeah.
because I have another joke. I can tie in, like, more jokes that I already have into
Mhm.
that, and it's because I have a joke about having a girlfriend and how we have custom ringtones for each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I call her, or no, when she calls me, it'll play like like an Ed Sheeran love song.
Right.
When I call her, it goes to voicemail.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna have that at the end of my hooker joke, where it's people always be like, "You have a girlfriend? Why don't you call her?" And I'll be like, "Because it goes to voicemail."
Right.
Cinnamon always picks up.
Which is a great. I like that. Thank you for always being there to hit up when I want to write with someone.
Oh yeah, I love writing with people.
Yeah, you're a great writing partner. Because you're great to just bounce ideas off of. Because you're a great writer as well.
Thank you.
But after that, I think this is our last question, where I ask you, what are you trying to do with comedy? What is your goal for, I guess, your lane, or
Yeah.
what do you want?
I mean, I'd love to be able to become rich and famous off of it. That's like
Yeah, but
the end
like,
game.
look
But
at your
realistically,
Yeah,
I mean, I know I'm way too good looking to be like a funny
a funny
comedian.
person.
Yeah. No, I'd like to. Honestly, if I can get to a level where if I can headline somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
like if I can feature at a club, or if I can go
Right.
spend a weekend in Indiana performing somewhere, do a little bit of road work, that would be cool. But I mean, I'm looking at it realistically.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, right now it feels like I'm just gonna be doing open mic hosting for a while, and
Right.
maybe get a showcase spot here and there, hopefully someday.
Right. We
And
have
then-
to accept that these are years away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, right now I just want to keep putting the hard work and being creative, and maybe make people laugh, because it is cool. Like,
Maybe make people laugh. Like, I like the comedy thing, but if I can like just kind of make people laugh, it's all
well,
right.
just getting recognized, like
Mhm.
being able to like go out and be recognized somewhere.
Mhm.
Like I was like sitting at a bar one time, and a guy was like, "You look really familiar." I'm like, have you been on Megan's Law? And he's like, no, that's not it. But then he was like,
been on Backpage.
He saw me perform at the Comedy Project.
Right.
He worked for the Mitten, and they had a Christmas party there, and I just so happened to be there as another comic bailed, so I took the spot, and like,
hell yeah,
I performed, and then people recognized me from it. So it's like,
and
I just want to get recognized and paid.
Exactly. Yeah, because I've also been recognized, but I want to get paid for what I've been recognized for.
Yeah.
Because I was not. Now it sounds like I'm patting myself on the back, but it's only because you brought it up. I was at the Children's Museum with my son. I think it was like the weekend after the first round of The Funniest Person in Grand Rapids. And this little girl had come up to our table where we were doing like arts and crafts and stuff. And she was just like messing around like next to me. And her dad had come over and picked her up. And he was like, "Oh, come on, honey. That's the funniest man in Grand Rapids," or whatever. And I was like, "What the heck?" And he was like, "Oh, we were at the show. Good stuff." And I was like, "Oh, thank you." I was like, that was too... It shouldn't have happened to me because I had a huge head for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
But it's something what we're working
Jeez,
toward.
you could have at least like wingman for your son a bit.
Yeah.
Set up a play date.
No, the girl was way too young. Maybe in a few years, I'll check back with him, see if
I don't know how old your son is.
More of a
I just
match.
assumed he was like 2.
No, my son's like, well, I mean, yeah, no, my son's like 5. He'll be
cool.
5 next week. Shouts out. But it seems you've set achievable and ideal goals.
Yeah,
yourself.
I mean, if it gets better, who knows?
Who knows? If you get better, I think that's really the catalyst.
Yeah. I mean, if I get better and keep hustling, that's the main thing, is to keep pushing.
Keep putting stuff out.
Yeah.
And I think that's been evident too. People who have gotten lazy just don't get the opportunities.
Yeah. I really, this is what I've been saying for a long time though. Like, I really hope the hard work pays off.
Yeah.
Like, when shows do come back and people are booking showcases, I really hope that like my name is like in their head,
because we've been doing stuff, right?
Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah.
But,
here's the hope, and it all pays off.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for joining us on Where Is This Going? Thank you, Carl.
Of course.
Coming out.
This is a blast.
Is there... Why do you always sound so sarcastic?
I don't know. It's when I get on podcasts, I just turn mean.
No, it's just your voice, I think. Is there anything you'd like to plug before we go?
Just check out my Instagram and my Twitter. I'm going to start raising money pretty soon for the Special Olympics. I'm going to be doing a polar plunge, like a virtual polar plunge. So I want to I have to do something miserable at home as a payoff. So I'm going to try to start raising money for that. And I've done it before, and I want to do it again. So
look forward to the
look
post.
for that, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At Carl_Sobel on Instagram and Twitter.
Yep.
And do you have a Facebook comedy page or no?
No, I don't have that. But if you look up Comedy Night at River North Public House, that's my show page. So,
Oh, yeah. Follow the show page and look forward to... Are you guys coming back in February?
I don't know. I got to talk to Rachel about it.
For sure. Well, we will give you an update on that, as well as more open mics to come next month, maybe. I know JB's Whiskey has opened up.
Yeah, I'm headlining that one.
Oh, you're headlining the open mic?
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
I'm doing 7.
I'm doing 7 for sure. They will not light me at 4.
No. I'm going to light somebody at 4.
Do you know what date you're getting?
It's one of David's dates.
I got one of John's. So catch Carl either on the
9th.
The 9th. Is it the 9th?
I think so.
The 9th in Battle Creek at JB's Whiskey. And you can see me the exact next week. It's a Tuesday, the 16th at JB's Whiskey in Battle Creek. You can follow me on Facebook or on Instagram and Twitter at @the_Hunter Miles. And you can follow this podcast actually on Facebook too. Just search Where Is This Going Podcast. But you can follow the podcast on Instagram at Where Is This Going Pod and on Twitter at Where Is This Go Po. Send us an email, whereisthisgoingpod@gmail.com, and subscribe to us. Follow us on Spotify. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe on YouTube. If you're watching this, subscribe. Hit the little bell thing so you get notified every time we upload. And you know what? Leave a comment. We love you guys so much. Thank you. Bye.